for tuning in once again. Today I wanted to do like an introduction to Foreflight. Now, I love Foreflight. Recently, the FAA has added within the private pilot ACS that it is okay and it is approved to use a EFB. So EFB stands for electronic flight bag, and that does indeed include Foreflight. So I wanted to start off by showing the standard sectional. So we're purely going to focus on VFR stuff today. There will be probably like 5 different parts to this series is what I'm thinking here, but I kind of want to show you why I love Foreflight so much. So, first of all, this is obviously your standard VFR sectional chart. Now you might be like thinking, why in the world is it so detailed? One of the things that I love about Foreflight here is you can add on what's called aeronautical, and basically that like makes everything huge. As you can see, it over highlights the Bravo, which is super nice because sometimes these are a little bit harder to see. Especially while flying. Now, I also love how it highlights these waypoints here. So you can see like VPWBT right here. So if I click on it, it gives me like pretty much I can add this to a flight plan. So this is like my flight plan up here. It's pretty clear where that waypoint is, which is really nice. Now, something else that I really love about Foreflight is pretty much everything you need is right here. So, like for instance, radar. Let's see. So we have radar out here, which is pretty nice if you ask me. I particularly use this if I'm doing like a cross country or something, because that makes it a whole lot easier for flight planning purposes, as well as seeing where I'm at just in general. Like if there are clouds nearby, I'm able to kind of see that a little bit. There are a few different options here. Now, one of the biggest things that I love about Foreflight is traffic. So for instance, if I click my traffic map, and I click this guy right here, it's a DA40 from Bountiful to Ogden. And then this guy is a Cessna 182 from, I think that's Malad. I'm not 100% sure. And it has heading and ground speed. Let's see if we can find a bigger plane the challenge is on. It's not a bigger plane. Elko. Okay. Where's all my like 737s at? DA40. Let's see. WestJet. So, let's see. Speed 440 knots. WestJet at 39,000 feet. Boeing 737. Like that's a pretty cool that we can actually see this. So like SkyWest from San Francisco to Salt Lake, E175 Lima. Perfect. So that's one of the things that I really like. It's neat because you can also, I know I said we're only talking about VFR today. But what is happening? Ah. But it's pretty cool because sometimes, like, you can see airplanes following these specific Victor Airways. Like, I guess this guy looks like he's following one. Yep, Delta, Seattle to Salt Lake City, 29,000 feet. Got another guy, SkyWest, 29,000 feet. I think that's Redmond. Again, not 100% sure on the code, but Salt Lake. So you can see these guys following the Victor Airways. Anywho. So that's a lot of fun. Now, I do like the integrated feature of weather on my map because especially if I am doing like a cross country, this is a way that we can kind of get an idea as to where something is. So for instance, we have a turbulence from March 1st at 2 p.m. until 4:59 p.m. It's active, surface to 18,000 feet. Basically, the severity is moderate, top is 18,000, and the base is surface. So these are pretty cool, and I wanted to see, like, sometimes out here. This guy, mountain obscuration, so that's gonna be one of your air mets. Here is an icing one. So it's pretty much, Foreflight's nice because it's integrating pretty much Sky Vector. I love Sky Vector. It's integrating Sky Vector with aviationweather.gov. And that is definitely something that I love for cross-country flight planning and cross countries. Now, it is very important that we all be aware that this is not always 100% accurate on here, right? So, things can vary. And it's important that we be very, very careful with the source that we're using, right? Especially radar, like, just be very, very cautious of that. Now, TFRs, I don't know if there are any. Oh, I actually see a lot. Never mind. So we'll see what this guy is down here. I'm gonna turn aeronautical off because that's kind of crazy. Let's see. San Angelo, Texas, flight restrictions. Just let's see. NOTAM, International Defense Airspace. Any person who, okay, I guess it's just, I'm not sure. Looks like they're using it for the air defense, but it looks like, I don't think it says, I don't think it quite mentions like specifically what it says, but like you can actually click around. Now, TFRs can pop up like pretty quickly, so again, that's something else to be aware of. But I love Foreflight in the sense that I have all of this information at the tips of my fingers. Now, Foreflight also has flight categories. Again, as I mentioned, this is pretty much combining aviationweather.gov with Sky Vector. So again, VFR, and this is also nice because it pulls up the METAR for you. So the green is going to be your VFR, obviously. Blue is your marginal VFR. I don't know if there's any red over here, but purple, that's your low IFR. Let's see if we can find an IFR. Oh, up here. Maybe? Maybe? I thought I saw one. There we go. Red is obviously IFR. Due to haze. Interesting. Overcast 600. Nice. Anyway, so that's really, really nice as well. Like, say I'm flying out of my home base. I don't know. Just for whatever reason here. And I wanted to see, like, what the flight categories are around me. This is a great way to do it. Again, just be very, very cautious. Like, 67 minutes ago, that's quite a long time ago. But again, if I probably reloaded this page, it might also help. But flight categories is pretty dang nice. Now, surface winds, again, it's pretty much like almost the same as aviationweather.gov. So, yeah. I'm not a fan of the surface winds just because, like, sometimes it makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know if I should be using this because, again, accuracy, things like that. A lot of the times I don't really care too much about the winds. I mainly care about my flight category, my SIGMETs, AirMets, things like that. Winds aloft also does pull up barbs, like right here, at 18,000 feet, which is interesting, but I don't really use the wind ones. Dew point spread, which is interesting. I don't use this too terribly often. I like to declutter my Foreflight preferably while I'm flying. Now, if I'm on a cross country, of course, I'm having, like, I'm checking this on aviationweather.gov, but, like, traffic, maybe radar on occasion. But again, temperature is pretty nice, as well as visibility. Visibility, again, kind of corresponds with the flight category. So again, if you have your flight category on, it's pretty much visibility, right? Ceiling, again, if I just use my flight category button, that pretty much covers the visibility and ceiling. But anyway, I think it's important that we do have access to all of these, and I have used every single one of these features, as well as the PIREPs. Like, PIREPs are very important on a cross country because these are the most accurate depictions of weather. So we have flight level 340, looks like turbulence, moderate chop. Like down here, icing, yeah, icing, light rime, and then we have, this is negligible, icing, negligible, light chop. So it's pretty much the same codes, same little icons as aviationweather.gov, which is pretty nice because, like, we don't really have to rememorize what these symbols are. Like, turbulence, negligible. Icing, negligible. Maybe light. Occasional light chop. So, definitely something to keep in mind. Now, lightning, I don't know if there will be anything on here right now, but yes, you can. Oh, there's a lightning over here. Anyways, I never use this function really because typically, obviously, I'm staying away from thunderstorms. I go off of what the SIGMETs and convective SIGMETs and AirMet center weather advisories say, because, like, if I'm down here, obviously there's a problem, like moderate turbulence, cool. Now, if you want, like, help, go away. There we go. Pre-flight planning, this is a good tool to use as well. I love this for flight planning. Now, do I ever have it up on my map when I'm flying? Absolutely not, because this is terrible and ugly and gross. Um, but I actually love these because for this very reason. So say I'm flying down here and I want to stop like between these three places right here. I got St. George, I got Mesquite, and I got Perkinsfield. Let's say I want to make a stop. I can make it to all three of these airports, but I'm deciding like which one to make a stop to because each of them are pretty much the same, right? Like we got Perkins, Mesquite, St. George, and I'm coming from the north, right? So I can make it to all the way to Perkins without getting fuel. Now, in my opinion, I'm choosing St. George because look at their fuel price. And I heard that their FBO area is pretty dang nice down there. Nice considering, you know. Anyway, some of the other FBOs I've been to. Jet A, same thing. 100 low lead. Yeah, so that's pretty much all of your map settings. Now, you'll see what I mean. I can't turn all of these on at the same time, but I can pretty much, like you can see how cluttered your map can get. So I guess one of the negatives to Foreflight is learning map management. But again, that's kind of contradicted by the fact that we don't have to carry paper maps, which is definitely very nice. However, please have a backup because Foreflight, I saw a meme a while ago where some guy was like mid-flight and his Foreflight subscription had ended. So that would be a terrible day right in the middle of a cross country. Now, of course, you have your different maps. So I can choose to turn my aeronautical on or off. It depends on what I'm flying, the purpose of the flight. You know, is this by a busy airspace or something like that? Then I would turn my aeronautical on. So, like if I was flying through here, I would definitely have my aeronautical on because it makes these numbers a lot bigger. So I can see like ground to 3999. And that's exactly what I did for my check ride yesterday. I took my check ride out of Henderson Executive. So I had my aeronautical on so I could see, okay, ground to 399, perfect. Then I could fly up to 55. Then I could fly up to 75. And then on top of that, then I'm out of the Bravo down here, which is pretty nice because it just helps you see the outline of what airspace you're coming up to and what airspace you're going to bust. There is street map. I actually hate the street. I don't switch between these two, but I mean, this is great. Actually, sorry, I hate that. Which one is it? I hate the street map, yes. Because this is so stupid. Like, I hate this. But anyway, aerial map. This is really nice for cross-country flight planning. In a previous video, I talked about, like, picking out maybe good landmarks and good things to look for. Traffic, terrain, clouds, and airspace. The terrain was one of them. And I mentioned going on to pretty much Google Earth and looking at an area. I'm pretty sure we were up by Yellowstone. Yeah, we were up by Yellowstone. Because I was like, wait, but what is this? What do these look like? You know, what do these places look like? So, here we are. This is what it looks like. I've got West Yellowstone. I've got the Teton National Parks. national forests, craters of the moon. I can see like specifics. I remember, I think we were up, oh, I can't remember. Wherever anyways, I'll have to link that video. But it's like, well, what does this lake look like? Well, I guess the lake kind of looks like this. The lake kind of looks like this. This area looks like this, you know? You can also say, okay, well, I'm here, so you can kind of gauge the distance between cities. Like, I'm in Burlington, I have Cody, I have Powell, I have, 10 Sleep down here. I'm not too sure. I don't know this area at all. Yeah, so tiny town. You can kind of see like what the cityscapes look like and what to look for. So I do know that, let's see. This is a great landmark right here. VPPTM, Victor Papa Papa Tango Mike. If you actually zoom in, it is the worst eyesore. Let's see. So we are south of the Salt Lake International Airport. This is a huge waypoint that the controller will clear you for when you're doing like the VFR transition route. They'll say clear direct VPPTM, or it's called the point of the mountain. So they'll say clear direct point of the mountain, maintain east of the I-15, clear through the Bravo. But like you can actually see, it's kind of weird on the map, but when you fly over this, it's like it's so green everywhere else, and then it's so nasty through here because they've literally shaved down the mountain. I think it's like a rock quarry, I'm not sure, but you can actually see this and it's obvious. So then you can kind of base your points off of this map. And I think it's awesome how they integrated it with Foreflight. Like, I love Foreflight for doing that. For instance, like, we have the Bingham Canyon mine. Let's see, where's this guy? It's somewhere over here. I can't remember the name of the waypoint, but it's, I think this is it. Yeah. There's this huge tower. I have to find it. I don't think it... Anyways, there's like a huge tower over here. And they call it the Garfield Smokestack. So they're like... you'll hear traffic say, hey, I'm north in a beam, the Garfield Smokestack, inbound, planning to enter the 45 downwind runway, whatever it is at South Valley. Or like, yeah. So I enjoy Foreflight for this aerial map, but I never use it when I'm actually flying, just because, you know, I want to see my airspace. I want to see how close I am to things. You have your IFR low, IFR high. Wow. Whoa. This is weird. I don't think I've ever seen this. That is interesting. But anyways, I've learned something new. I know what video I'm gonna make next. I'm gonna make a video on this chart. So be looking out for that. US VFR. We've got flyway charts. Maybe. Come on. Anyway, helicopter. So, fun things like that. But I love Foreflight, long story. So, we talked about some of the pros. We've got all of this information available at our fingertips pretty much 24/7. It's pretty good. Like, I can find a lot of information on this. Another reason why I like it is it's pretty much integrating my aviationweather.gov, AWC, with my actual sky vector information. So we really didn't talk about it yet, but if I click on this airport, oh, I didn't want that. It's going to add it to your flight plan. That's another reason why I like this thing is service, because I can actually go in and see. Sorry, I'm so tired. I can actually go in and like gather all of this information and plan a cross-country flight plan. I do have access to frequencies. So, like, I have, and something cool that they just added in here. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if they listed out on this one, but, let's see, weather. Again, you have VFR METARs, nearby weather, TAFs, MOS, winds. We'll do like a whole video on this, but this is just kind of like some of the features that I enjoy about Foreflight. I'm actually planning on making a video probably next week about cross-country flight planning, and we'll walk through an entire cross-country flight plan utilizing Foreflight, like from start to finish. So we've got frequencies. I don't see it on here, which sucks, but yeah. Down here you can see scheduled arrivals. Oh no. No, don't tell me it's kicking me. No. No. So, no. That was annoying. Anyway, but yeah, you can log into your Flight Aware account, as it mentioned here, and you can actually see scheduled arrivals, departures, and what exactly is en route. You have access to runways, like the conditions, the poppies, the lighting system, high intensity. We also have access to the specific procedures, so airport diagram, hot spots, which this is pretty neat here because it actually tells you like what let's see, Salt Lake, like right here, there you go. There's your hotspots. You've got your specific Foreflight diagram here. Departure procedures, arrivals, and approaches, as well as NOTAMs. So, that is pretty much like all I wanted to talk about. That was kind of like my intro to Foreflight, but please be on the lookout for a bigger, better video. It's probably going to be really long about cross-country flight planning. So I hope to catch you on the next one. In the meantime, download Foreflight so that we can walk through a cross-country flight plan together.